I'm Director of Sales and Marketing for Morph Hospitality Group. We have 3 different restaurants, Shohan Ale and Masala House, Tonso, and the Mockingbird. Work in restaurant PR, and that's how I got into this place, but worked at agencies for 15 years prior. So my degree is actually in fashion merchandising, but I knew I wanted to do PR. Did a study tour in New York City while I was in college. I asked about their PR department, and so kind of went on that route. For my internship that I did my senior year, I just lived in New York and I only wanted to work in a press office. So I kind of went the route of being in an industry that I liked, but then looking at the PR options in that. But I think it can go either way. A little bit, I think fashion PR is a little bit different than corporate PR. I didn't do as much writing. That's where I learned how to deal with the media. I worked a lot with magazines and getting them clothes. For any kind of editorial story that you would see in Vogue or in Glamour, I was working with the editors to get them the clothes from the designers that I represented in order to get them shot. But we did special events. Stating my age, but I graduated college in 1999. So yeah, it's changed a lot just with digital and that kind of thing, and like what social media means to PR. I post a lot less. Definitely look at how many likes it gets, how many comments, if it's an engaging post, and if people on Facebook are sharing it, time of day it's posted. For Shohan Ale and Masala House, but they started using the hashtag Spice It Up. It's Indian and there's a lot of spices. We also use the hashtag Eat at Shohan, because that's going to be very specific just to Shohan. And then there's also an element of doing other hashtags that's going to bring more followers. Nashville foodie, is it, food fan, is it, there's different like food related hashtags that you can incorporate. In different ways, and that's what some of the things that are changing, especially with social influencers that are continuing to change. We bring them in and they have a complimentary dinner. I mean, maybe they pay for their alcohol. It can get a little bit tricky, and then it's like, okay, yes, we'll post something, or is it just because they love it and they post, or do you do a paid partnership with a social influencer? That's an option too. The kind of route you want to go, and if you're in a large agency and you see that there's progression from an assistant account executive up to a VP, and they have all of those roles. I mean, if you are in a smaller agency, maybe there's not as much room for growth. In my role, I see how it all can help. I think on a local level, some of those things really connect. I think on a national level, when you're looking at big national TV segments or being in a magazine or being in the New York Times, that's a little bit of a bigger picture situation. Necessarily about a specific, we have a dinner that's going on in Nashville. It's like, how do we get our celebrity chef in a magazine? That's not a direct result of sales, but the more national attention she's getting, the more attention the group's gonna get. And then for me, being on the internal side, since I'm not in the agency world anymore, it's more if the business decides to open another restaurant. From the agency world, if clients can come at any time, you just never know, again, like from a networking perspective, like how that new business comes in. An example is that we were working with Chinette, which is paper products that you throw away, but they had a paper bakeware product, almost like a foil pan that you would put in the oven, but it was paper, it looked prettier. Well, I was able to get that product in the New York Times. spending so much time pitching, and not getting anything picked up, sometimes that can get a little discouraging, but then you'll have that moment where you get something so big and you're like, okay, it's all worth it. It's so hard of like what that definition is of marketing and how that relates to PR and advertising, and I kind of see marketing as the overarching arm, and then PR falls under marketing. PR is like things that are out in the public for that client, that brand, that person. That is not something that's like a paid, controlled message. It's just taking advantage of those opportunities that school is offering. Internships or any kind of study programs or anything that sort of seems out of the out of the norm, right? That it's not just going to class. Like, I think that school is, you get out of it what you put in. But I think that that's even with internships or jobs and that kind of stuff. Research, like knowing what the agencies are around town. I mean, maybe you can seek out some of your own opportunities, and is there somebody you could shadow in an agency one day, or do they have opportunities for students that might be outside of the box of even what the school is offering. Just, I think, trying to learn as much as you can before you get out there in the workforce, and knowing so that you can kind of make these educated decisions as you exit school.